Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel and my classroom. I am in my classroom today and I am actually doing a VIPKid video. So finally I'm just going to update you guys. It's just going to be kind of like a chatty video. I wanted to update you on just VIPKid stuff on my end, and also I wanted to talk about how taking a vacation affected my bookings, because that seems to be a question a lot of people have, and I was very unsure about it before I took my vacation, so I just wanted to address that in this video as well. I also wanted to mention that I'm also going to make another video soon addressing like frequently asked questions. I have had so many people ask me about VIPKid, and that makes me so happy. Like, I love talking about this company and getting people into it. And so I wanted to make a video that just addresses all of those frequently asked questions. You know, how much do you get paid? What are the hours like? Is there a schedule that you have to follow? Just all those basic questions that I had before I started. I feel like it might be simpler to just make a video, and then that way if people ask me questions about it, I can just be like, here, this has all the information that you might need, because I know that sometimes when people message me, I'm in the middle of doing something, but I want to respond, and so when I do respond, it's kind of like not a full answer. It doesn't really go into much detail. And then they're kind of left hanging just because I get so excited and I want to message them back right away. And I just don't answer to the best of my ability. So keep an eye out for that, because that is coming eventually. But today I wanted to just talk about my journey and kind of update you guys on everything, and also talk about vacation. So as of today, I have been with VIPKid. I'm looking at my phone. I have my stats pulled up here. I've been with VIPKid for 132 days, so I'm about halfway through, a little bit more than halfway through my first contract, so that's very exciting. My second contract starts in September, if I'm asked back. Hopefully I am. And then I'll be signed, because the contracts, that's something I can put in my other video, is stuff about contracts. But a contract is 6 months long. So you work for 6 months and then you're either asked back or you're not. So we'll see. Fingers crossed that I'm asked back. I have taught 183 different students across 592 classes. You guys, that is so many classes. And I think it's interesting. I always like seeing, because a lot of teachers share these like little insight things on like the Facebook groups and on their Instagram and stuff. And I think it's interesting to see their students taught versus their classes taught. So compared to my classes, I have not taught that many students. So that means I've got a lot of regular students, which is awesome. I love my regular kiddos. They're so great. It's really fun to be able to learn a student and know what they like and be able to interact more with them in the classroom. And I feel like that's something that takes a few classes to do. Whereas if you're like a brick and mortar teacher, you're seeing these kids every single day, you know what they like, you know what they don't like. But with these kids, sometimes I only see them once, maybe twice a week. And it can be difficult to like really get to know them. So it's fun when you have those regulars who are in your classroom consistently and you get to build a relationship with them. But yeah, so having those regular students is really fun. It is also fun though to get new students. So this is kind of where I want to throw in the stuff about vacation. So I just recently got back from Florida. Me and my bestie went to Orlando and it was super fun. We went to Epcot and Universal and just kind of hung out in Orlando for a few days, and it was really, really fun. However, I was pretty nervous about I took 7 whole days off, so 1 whole week. And I had read that, you know, some people didn't see any, like, it didn't really affect their bookings, and other people it did affect their bookings. And really, VIPKid is such an individual journey, and it's hard to compare yourself with another teacher because every single person's journey is so different. So this is just my experience with it. I took the 7 days off, which was crazy. Fun, but it was crazy not working for those 7 days. So I was nervous because I was afraid that when I came back, I was going to have to like work to get bookings again. However, that was not the case. We got back from Orlando on a Sunday night, and for those of you in the VIPKid world, Sunday night is the frenzy. So that's when parents go on and they book you for not the next week, but the following week. So I already had classes booked for the week that I came back. I actually took off, so I came back Sunday, and I took off Monday and Tuesday just to have like 2 days like recoup and get everything together. So I had classes scheduled for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, which is this week actually, which is crazy. So I've had classes this week, which was great, but I was worried about that week after when the frenzy was going to happen Sunday when I came back. And I'm fully booked for that week, which is awesome. I was so glad that that was the case because I was very nervous that it was going to be difficult to get bookings again. But that was not the case. And even when I started, I did not have trouble getting bookings at all. I know a lot of people really struggle with that, and I think I got lucky with my timing because I started in March, which was right after Chinese New Year in February, and so a lot of students were back in the system and they were getting going again, and I was, just starting. I was a new teacher, so I think it just was luck on my end. I didn't know that. I didn't know anything about Chinese New Year. I didn't know how any of it worked. So like I said, I think it was just luck. As far as this goes, though, I don't know. I guess it's just luck again. And this is where I wanted to mention new students. I was talking about having regulars and how they're so great, but it is also fun to have a new student in your classroom that you don't know. And a lot of them are they're just great kids, and they're so fun to have in your classroom. And it's fun to meet new students because sometimes your regulars can just kind of wear you out. You're like, oh my gosh, I see you all the time. Like, you love them, but you want something new and fresh. And so I actually have had a lot of new students book me for not this week, but the week after. So that's exciting. And I have had some new ones already this week. And I think that also has to do with the summer break. The students in China are on their summer vacation. And so the parents there are like, hey, you're not in school, so we're going to do VIPKid. Because I've had a lot of students booking me for other classes other than major course classes. So if you're not in the VIPKid world, this might be a little confusing, but I've been doing things like the TOEFL primary, which is basically like a test prep for older students. So I've had like 13 and 14-year-olds who basically do the whole lesson themselves. Like, I just kind of sit here and tell them, yes, you're doing it right, or no, you're doing it wrong. So those are fun. I've also been doing phonics classes, which I really like, proper pronunciation classes, which are really fun, Voice of VIPKid, which is super fun. I thought I would hate those because I don't like to sing. I do like to sing, but I don't do it well. But the kids songs are really fun and catchy. So those are really fun. Yeah, and so I guess what I will do is tell you guys what I'm certified in. So that has kind of updated since I started. I have several certifications. So I am certified to teach level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. And then I'm also certified for trials and the trial 3.0 plus, which I've had all of those bookings except a trial 3.0 plus, which is just a new trial course. So trial courses are for students. So, let's take Netflix, for example. You're brand new to Netflix, you've never had it before, and they're like, oh, here is a 30-day free trial on Netflix, and you get those 30 days for free, and you kind of figure out if you like it, if it's something that you're willing to pay the money for every month, and that is what the trial certification is. So it's a student who is brand new to the program. They've never seen it before. They've never been in it. And they get 3 free classes before they have to decide if they want to pay for more courses or drop it. They don't like it. So that's just what a trial class is. And levels 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all just major course classes. So that's what they come in and they're assessed on their English knowledge, and then they're placed in a level. And then those are the major course certifications. And then I also have some supplementary certifications. So like I mentioned, I've got proper pronunciation, which literally just shows them how their mouth needs to look when they're saying a word. So one of the classes that I had today, we were learning the blend, I guess, OU. And so it literally has pictures on the screen of what their mouth needs to look like. And you just are like, ow. And you show them how their mouth needs to move. And that is actually so helpful because a lot of the sounds that we have in the English language, the Chinese language does not have. So several of those sounds are very hard for them because they've never seen it and they've never used it before. They've never made their mouth do those movements before. So proper pronunciation is a really fun class. And then I've also got the TOEFL primary. Like I said, it's just like a test prep course for older students. They're fun if you have a student who knows what they're doing. Voice of VIPKid, which is strictly music. So they just learn different words. So there's like one that's like Food Ninja, and it's all about slicing different foods up. And it's fun. The kids like it. And then at the end, their homework is to make a music video. So I guess on the parents' end, they have an option to like pull up a software or something and like record their kids singing the song that they just learned in class. So it's cute. It's really fun. I also am certified in phonics, which is self-explanatory. It's just phonics. I'm also certified for grammar, which is, again, self-explanatory. It's just a grammar course. And then I'm also certified in, I think, what is like considered their summer camp this year. This is my first summer, so I'm not really sure how it works, but it's the leveled reading for beginners. And they actually partnered with like some like big book company. I can't think of it off the top of my head right now. But it's basically just a class where it's like a story. So some teachers have been kind of like iffy about it. They don't really like it. But I really enjoy it. That is actually something when I was going to school for education before I changed my major. That was something that I always thought about. Reading was something that I always really enjoyed teaching and working with students on. And so when I saw this, I was like super excited. So it's really just, they read, a couple of sentences, and then there's comprehension questions that are asked to make sure that they're understanding what they're reading. And it's really fun. I really like them. They're pretty simple. But it's important to work on comprehension. A lot of the times these students can read everything that's on the screen, but then you ask them a question about it and they're like, what? They don't understand. So I think the comprehension is very important. So those are all of my certifications. I'm also TESOL certified, which I think I've talked about that in another video. But yeah, that is really all I have, I think. Yeah, everything is pretty much the same as far as my setup goes, but y'all, the holidays are coming up, and you know that this all is about to change. So I'm very excited for like Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas. I think they celebrate Halloween in China. I'm not sure. I know that I have read like some teachers' posts on Instagram and stuff from past Halloweens where their students were like coming to class dressed up, and it's really fun. I think Halloween is on a Thursday this year, so I'll be teaching that day. So I'm excited for that. But they don't celebrate Christmas as far as I know. That is actually a lesson that I teach. And we learn the differences between the United States and China. And they learn that in America, we celebrate Christmas, and in China, they celebrate the Chinese New Year. And a lot of the times, like, there'll be a picture of Santa Claus, and I'll be like, oh, who is this? And they're like, I don't know, like an old guy with a white beard. So it'll be fun to kind of like incorporate my holiday into their holiday, and then they can teach me too. That's another super fun thing. I know I said I was done, but I'm going off on a tangent. A lot of the times these kids get really excited to learn about where I'm from, or what part of the United States I live in. And I have a little map down here. This is actually my map that I scratch off for every place that I've been. So can you tell that I pretty much just say down south? So little story, and then I'll be done. I was working with an older student, and she's super sweet, and I've had her several times. She's a regular of mine, but she was learning the blend TW, so twa. And one of the words that she had to read was twang. And sometimes the kids will ask you, what is this word? And a lot of the times on the VIPKid PowerPoints, they're just random made up words. Like, they're not a real word. So you're just like, oh, it's funny. It's haha. It's not real. But she asked me what twang was. And I could have been like, oh, silly word. But I did not. I showed her my map, and I showed her all of these states that are colored in. I said, look, down here, when you live in these southern states, you have what we call a southern twang. And she cracked up laughing. She thought that was the funniest thing. I told her, I was like, I have to change my voice to teach you. And she just thought it was really funny. And then she was telling me where she's from, which was, I'm going to murder this, Xinjiang, I think. I don't even remember what it was called, but when she first said it, I was like, oh, teacher Kayla cannot say that. And she was so cute. She was like, you can do it. And she was walking me through how to say the name of her country or whatever it is. So it was super cute, and it's just fun to be able to connect with those kids like that. And every now and then, if you have one that's really smart and you're going through the lesson pretty fast, you have a lot of opportunity to really get to know them and what they like. And it's funny to see them laugh and really get into the class instead of just, boring old class going over the PowerPoint. So it's fun to kind of branch off and get to know them more. So anyway, I will stop rambling. Like I said, stay tuned for that me answering like frequently asked questions video. Hopefully that will be helpful to many people. But for now, thank you so much for watching. And if you have any questions that you would like me to answer, you can leave them in the comments, and I'll go back and see what you guys said, if anything. And then that way I can kind of answer your most asked questions. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching and joining me back in my classroom, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!